A beautiful day at the MCG. The big question was, would Buddy Franklin play? And the answer was yes. But it was Shane Savage who started proceedings for the Hawks with a monster 70-metre goal. The Hawks started in a desperate fashion and Buddy got going with goal 499 and then goal number 500. The Hawks well on top at quarter time. And going into the second term, they continued to build. Lewis generated so much of their moves forward. Shields snagged one, and Cyril Rioli playing one of his best games of the year. It was 61 points at halftime. The third quarter started well for Chad Corns in his 250th game. Sheed was happy with that, but not so happy after that. Franklin kicked his fourth and then got subbed. Bruce kicked a couple. They kicked 9-9 for the third quarter, the Hawks. It's a tough day at the office for the visitors from Greater Western Sydney. The other news today, Jeremy Cameron reported. So there has been a bit happening and there still might be more to come in this last quarter. Lewis orchestrates another move forward. Mitchell bangs it high. Everyone was jumping and leaping after it, but fell away of the GWS Giants. And Ward, Cornelio. This is a promising move. Palmer, wobble one, didn't do any real favours for Cameron. Gibson is caught. High, advantage. Play on rather, and gave it to Smith, who gave it to Shields and then got it back again.
High tackle, advantage.
More advantage. Stratton off the left.
Rioli started each quarter in the middle. He started full forward at the start of this last quarter.
Cyril into the goal square, rough head, set himself, everyone else fell down. He was still standing and puts through his third.
Perfect play for Hawthorn. As I said, Cyril Rioli started each quarter in the midfield. He started full forward the start of this last quarter. That is a perfect kick for a forward.
Just had the two tools in the square calling it long.
The key to the kick, Jace, as a forward, he was able to run and jump and take the ball at its highest point, as we see on that occasion. Landed on his feet, great balance. Comes from his basketball background, that powerful leap off the mark. Great start, Hawthorn.
123 points is the margin. Their lowest score for the year, by the way, the Giants, is 37 in round one. And it was the week after against the Kangaroos where they conceded their highest score for the year, 183. So they'll be hoping to avoid both of those. They'll need to kick a few goals and also stem the flow. Stratton has got a lovely move from Birchall. He's become more and more accomplished player, and look at that, his vision was superb. Smith to Lewis, who went down. He gave again. White crafts the kick across the body, and it hung in the air until Cyril arrived. It came with instructions.
It's great play. Cyril Rioli out of the goal square. We're looking for something to get the Hawthorn supporters going in the last quarter. I think Rioli out of the goal square with Roughhead, we could be in for some excitement to the finish of this game. Good to see Stratton too is subbed on.
18 disposals and a goal. Comes in coolly and calmly. Pops through another.
Great team performance for Hawthorn. 13 different goal kickers in the 22. Franklin already subbed off. See Cyril Rioli there, the ball movement from the forward to his direct opponent towards the congested area of the ground, then opened it up for himself. The kick wasn't the greatest, but like any forward, you must be in front, especially the one that drops under pressure.
Quite an afternoon, and Cyril's still got a quarter to build on his couple of goals.
7 tackles also, Hutto.
So it's Roughhead and Rioli playing deep forward for the Hawks.
And Hale palming for Lewis. Puopolo with the big leap.
Oh, Steve Cornelio! Steve Cornelio!
Interesting.
Yeah, Steve Cornelio!
Maybe Puopolo might have grabbed him as he elevated himself. So I didn't see it. Cornelio affects the switch. Smith running out to the wing to receive the pass from Moore. Giles is up at half forward, but he's going to wait. And I'm not sure about the wisdom of that. Hale now to Puopolo. He changes the angle up into Roughhead. He can
Rioli
swing.
one-on-one.
And that's going to put pressure on anyone. Gets it deep. Kennedy with the job of trying to nullify him. But here's Cyril again. Sweeps onto the footy. Even he ran out of steam eventually. Green. Edwards got it away. Cornelio. Treloar. Back to Cornelio again. Cameron and Gibson. Gibson and Cameron. And it's Gibson's ball. Just a nice manoeuvre too to get himself loose. And now they can stretch out. Isaac Smith. Hits a target.
That's a better kick.
Finds Mitchell. Works it back inside. Nice gift to Shields from Stratton. And Lewis will get them into the 50. Could go to Bruce. Could go shorter. Yeah, and he just shaped it to perfection.
This is going to be the Rioli show. And I think the Hawthorn, his teammates can sense that Rioli's deep. Roughhead didn't even bother to lead. He just stood in the goal square and thought, well, Cyril's on the move, and why not? A great kick.
For goal number 3. And the double for the quarter. No, sprayed it.
One out. One in. Now back, Kelly.
Looking to go long down the middle.
Well, that's where he goes. Giles is in the best position, but Schoenmaker's got in there to have an effect. Mitchell drew the high contact. Crowd saw it. Umpire didn't. Schoenmaker's now Suckling. Always trying something on with his kicking prowess. Free kick to Murphy.
He only got a bit lucky, Matty Suckling. He was just biting off a bit more than he could chew.
There he goes again. Cyril's coming. Oh! He went so hard, he may well have falconed it there, Jace.
That nearly hit him in the head.
I think it was a Falcon.
He's got it again. He'll pop up from anywhere. You just can't. Oh, it's touched.
He started this quarter unbelievably well. Have a look at the fly.
Where does it hit him? On the arm.
Left shoulder.
Yeah.
What about the recovery?
Yeah.
Good decision.
Double
Phil
Davis.
Davis,
With a couple of hands on it.
Hampton to himself. Patton and Phillips both trying to get involved. Stratton, Shields. Just dabbed the pass in for Mitchell.
Too far out.
Apparently he's played on. Almost fell for either Roughhead or Bruce. So 131 points. +1. And there's a good mark taken by Adam Treloar.
I think this scoreline, Hutto, will put a lot of the top 5 sides on notice as well. When you're playing GWS and Gold Coast, you must
You got to make
improve
hay,
your
don't you?
percentage. Yep, no doubt.
Should score here. Oh, that's a really poor kick, but they got away with it. There's a floater.
Big Giles. No, there's no doubt about that, Danny. I guess in the past it was seen as by some teams a chance to rest players, but now it's as we get into this home stretch, you've just got to build your percentage.
Especially when 6 sides realistically can finish in the top 4.
Well, most weeks he's been able to kick a goal. He's at 12 from 12 games going in, Giles.
No. This is going out next to the post. It's going to be over. Thank you. Thanks, Josh. Just there. Play on. Mate. Play on.
Whitecross has had a good game as well. Birchall. Suckling has been a commander in defence.
You got 2 metres.
He's young.
Play on.
Hard lead from Gunston, but it's Hale who's the taller timber. So it was a dangerous kick, really. And Green.
Yeah, he bit off too much. There's no doubt in that. To go to a one-on-one in the middle of the ground is flirting with your form. We know he's a beautiful kick, but that ball had to travel 55 metres into the centre of the ground, a real dangerous area of the ground. He'd be really disappointed with that kick. And the right result has occurred. GWS have got a shot at goal.
And it's Wilson. And and that's disappointing.
Didn't make great contact.
It does look a bit, apart from being tired, they do look devoid of confidence at the moment.
And that's a habit that Hawthorn needs to avoid in this fourth term. Oh, there's another dangerous kick. They've got to play the percentages. They've still got to stick to the structures that got them this margin in front.
Murphy lays it off to Hill. It's a searching kick for Bruce. Inside 50s for the afternoon, 61 to 29. They've had 45 scoring shots, the Hawks.
Don't hold, Steve.
Hale down to Young. Ward, the tumble. He took the ball with him, so he could have been in danger. Wasn't a great handball by Young, but they'll get through just the sheer weight of numbers and presence. Suckling. I guess even the Hawks players starting to tire a little bit now.
Well, that's when it's important not to bite off more than you can chew, as Spud was talking about before. Take the easy options. Chip it to a loose player and have a set shot instead of trying to kick the miraculous ones on the run. Don't try and hit the longer pass if there's an easier option on.
Davis. Stratton, Rioli. He knew where Lewis was. He worked out exactly where he probably would be given his starting position. Top of the goal square, almost for Gunston. Hill, can he find a way through? The answer to that is no. Hampton wraps him up.
Now, I'd love to know where the prior opportunity was there.
Maybe he wasn't doing enough.
Hold it in there, bro. Got to make an attempt.
He's the smallest player out there, the least physically developed.
Here's the leap from
Did the
Gunston.
hard part.
I did it. Play on.
Just over 10 minutes gone in this final term. Savage gets them into the 50. And now here's Rioli. Surely couldn't have been able to create a goal out of that.
Adam Kennedy, direct opponent. He'll have a fair old headache when he walks off the ground after the game.
Little exchange there between Gunston and Davis, former Adelaide Crows teammates.
Bruce just muscling his way through. Shields quick to lay it off. The setup is almost complete. Savage, though, couldn't get enough leverage. Rioli's still there or thereabouts. He leaves it gladly for Hill, who maybe took a moment too long and as a result couldn't have much effect with the kick.
Ready.
Good opportunity for young Brad Hill to get a full game under his belt. He's been used as the sub a number of times.
He's had 16 possessions.
A really good athlete.
Play on.
Tackling from Isaac Smith once and then again. And that's the sort of thing I guess he needs to do, Jason, to try and help his confidence. He's laid 7 tackles today, Isaac Smith.
And that's encouraging. Hasn't used the ball very well at all. But there are a lot of areas you can still work at, even when you're not having the best of days.
Hampton slaps it away, but it's to Mitchell's advantage. So creative with the hands primarily. Here's Hill again, back out to Mitchell. Possession number 31.
Play on.
Coming from all angles. Giles.
15.
Canelio just goes for territory. It's going to come straight back, though. Gibson.
Well, everyone's in the forward half of the ground.
So that was pretty low.
Shocking kick.
Yeah, low percentage, wasn't it? That was not too high. That was.
Alistair Clarkson wouldn't be too happy with the last 5 minutes.
It's been very sloppy, hasn't it?
Thank you.
He's in the wars.
Jonathan Patton.
He'll need a few bags of ice at the end of the game.
Well, you'd like to see him get off, surely.
Smith over to Canelio. A rare venture into the 50 to have a shot for goal, and he just couldn't. He just needed one more step, which he couldn't afford to take.
The uncontested possessions is amazing discrepancy. 285 to Hawthorn, more than 100 than GWS, 176. And that's why there hasn't been a lot of tackling in the game. GWS have only had 37 tackles to Hawthorn's 53 because it's been a very open game of football.
And they're on the advance again. Stratton back to Mitchell, and here's Cyril.
Well, that's a better kick. That's just, no, I'm stating the obvious, but hit the hittable target. Sam Mitchell, he could have looked up. He had a-
Roughhead gave him a good lead too, and he's going to have to kick from right on 50, Rioli.
Will that be a problem for him though, Jason?
I reckon he doesn't kick it much further than 50.
51 perhaps.
Maybe 60.
That's off the boot. A treat.
I think he could hear you then, Jason.
Well, it's all about timing. He just timed that kick beautifully. He didn't try and overkick it, just pure contact. But it was a good kick from Mitchell, who just straightened things up. They've opened up GWS a few times in the corridor. And look, it was 2-on-1 down back. But unfortunately, no one was... When you've got 2-on-1, you've got to have one at the back and one at the front. They ended up having two out the back, which allowed Rioli to lead straight up the corridor.
Great quarter of football. Rioli, have a look at his full game stats there. 24 disposals, 9 marks, 3 goals, 8 tackles. This quarter alone, 7 disposals, 4 marks, 2 goals, 2.
What a job for young Adam Kennedy, who's now 1 out in the goal square with him.
I think he needs a Panadol.
3-3 for the day for Rioli. White cross.
But Rioli 1-on-1 again.
And he'll want more. Boost. Turned him inside out and then hit the post.
Not sure whether he had another option there, Luke Bruce. I think with the hands, Rioli and Lewis.
Judging from his teammates' reaction, I think they thought...
Yeah, I think they're all queuing up trying to get in on the action. And again, they've got to choose the best option, not just do what they think they'd like to do.
Back out to the wing, or almost to the wing. Ward, now Green. Palmer. Still a little bit of run for them, which they desperately need. Ward takes it out.
A good pick up off the toes.
Haynes. This is Smith. Corns looks likely. And now Adams. And that hangs on, and that's a goal.
Good finish.
Haven't had a lot to cheer about, but that one's through.
Let's have a look at Luke Bruce early on in this passage of play when he had a shot at goal. Thought he had another option. Gunston and Lewis out the back. There's Lewis, Gunston and Rioli for hands. Maybe there's a bit of pressure there as well.
Look, I think if he kicks it, he's entitled to kick it. They weren't that clear. He just realises he's got a bit of time and space and finishes well there, Taylor Adams.
He's going to be a very good player, Taylor Adams. 24 disposals today. He's been another that hasn't used it as well as he would have liked, but well, there's a big future in some of these young players. Palmer. Ward's charged on out to the wing, and despite the efforts of Garoppolo,
I'm not sure what he was trying to do there.
He just launched himself.
Well, we know he's brave, Callum Ward.
Corns, he also stretches high. Gibson, prepared to take them on. Smith looks like he's discovered some of his touch. Shields. Lewis.
Dangerous kick.
No, it wasn't a wise kick, was it?
It was a bad option, that's what it was.
Cameron. Green. Couldn't get to safety. Oh, that was clumsy from Lewis.
Over the top.
Well, the difficulty there, though, is that Jeremy Cameron actually missed the footy and kept going past it and ran into Jordan Lewis.
But the trouble is, the kick from Hawthorn.
Yeah, it was a dreadful kick out.
Put
Shields.
All the Hawthorn players under pressure. He had a free target long and wide. Tried to bite off too much. He did fumble the ball, Cameron.
It is difficult in that situation. Here's the kick, though, from Cameron. And unfortunately, they've actually missed a number of chances today that they could have put through just to make the picture a little brighter for them. Lewis not really doing a lot wrong.
Sometimes there's not much you can do, is there?
There's a bit of a head clash. Oh, yeah, the Lewis was just a free kick with Cameron. You watch the spread from Hawthorn here now, just the work rate to try and create free options for each other.
I think that's the number one reason.
Ground, and he spotted it.
Jace, this is the number one reason why the Hawks can win it, isn't it? Their strength is kicking. Almost 90% effective in the defensive half today.
Shields to Puopolo. Rioli was in a wonderful position running back to the goal square, but
And again, he'll struggle with the journey.
Yeah, that's gone coast to coast. Just getting back to what David King was talking about. From kick out, there was 7 kicks there, all lace out.
yeah, decide to lay it off to Roughhead.
Make that 8.
That helps. Bang.
Well, we knew he was outside his distance range, Paul Piopolo, but that's a serious finish from Jared Rufford. He's kicked that off one step because he didn't really have room to run up and bomb the ball. So
It's a good travelling day today in the air, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Have a look at the build-up here, though. There's what David King was alluding to, just the ball used by foot. If you allow Hawthorn time and space, they will cut you up, especially through the middle of the ground. That was great play there from Roughhead.
Well, here's this ladder, and the live ladder, Hawthorn going to go up above Essendon with this win today, and their percentage 150.
Gone up 12% in one game of footy, Hutto.
Well, they've still got time to build some more. Davis, he really just sold more into all sorts of trouble and feels the heat himself and transferred around there from GWS player from one to the other. Hampton. Oh, just get in there and get it out quickly. And Kennedy's natural worked pretty well for them. But the danger hasn't yet passed. Now it has. Palmer. What was he thinking? I think he said to his teammates, where was the voice?
No, he didn't have a target ahead. That was the problem.
Devon Smith had to talk.
Hale takes the grab at the top of the square.
Oh, that hurts. He's trying to take the game on GWS. His teammates around. No talk. Should have got the ball in the boot. And they'll make you pay, Hawthorn, on turnovers. They'll have 3 teammates up the ground. And these guys, Hale, Roughhead, Franklin, they do not get any smaller late in the game. Get to kick a goal, David Hale.
Goal kicker number 14 if he converts.
And he's in perfect position. And he's done it. The Hawks have got 25 now.
So it's a good spread when you can have 14 individual goal kickers.
Especially when you've got Franklin and Roughhead both kicking 4.
Just have a look at Reece Palmer. Not only does he have nothing to kick to and he gets run down from behind, I reckon he gets poleaxed into the deck. All the momentum carrying him forward. It's Clinton Young with the chase. Gets him just as he's bouncing. And then bang.
That's Devon Smith there.
In.
Not a lot of talk from Devon Smith. We could just see his legs there in the screen. Great mark from Hale.
So David Hale has become an integral part of this team. That it's going to be fascinating when Big Max Bailey comes back as to how they organise themselves.
Good problem to have, though, Hutto.
It is, but it's still an issue. I mean, it'll depend on the form of Bailey, obviously.
Well, it will, but there's an old saying, if it ain't break, don't fix it. But great player to come back in late in the season.
Roughhead. Oh, there he is again.
Well, if he keeps marking the ball like this, Hutto, it'll be a bigger problem.
There's so many clubs who would die to have one ruckman who can go forward and take a mark. Well, Hawthorn, well, they've got him there and they've got Roughhead. They're 2 of the best that can do it.
They're more 2 forwards that ruck than rucks that go forward.
And that's, I guess, the question, isn't it? Do they think they need someone who's a stronger first ruck?
And that's going to depend on the opposition at times too.
You play West Coast Eagles, you've got Dean Cox and Nat Nui. That's where Bailey will come into the equation, no doubt.
Hale, he can poke through another.
He shanked it.
Yeah. It's still there. It's a goal.
Did the goal umpire do some work?
Had a nice little bit of right to left on the ball. Have a look at the kick from Roughhead, though. That's gone 70 metres in itself. And he could sense that Hale was deep.
Just lost him, Tim Moore. He just lost him. And in the end, he didn't really fly Tim Moore when he needed to.
I think he thought Davis or one of his other teammates were going to come over the spool.
You can just see the pressure this defence has been under all day, the GWS. Key posts, 70 inside 50s for Hawthorn. That's a big day. We spoke earlier in the day, them averaging 63 all year against the GWS. 70 today is a huge number.
and they've scored 50 times. 26 goals, 24. And this man's been wonderful out of defence. Suckling for Young, spreading it wide. Lewis has the centre wing to himself. Charging away to Birchall. They've got plenty to come back to, haven't they? We've had a bit of a rest today, or a bit injured. Burgoyne and Guerra.
Hodge is not far away.
Hodge,
2-ball reports.
And Sewell was a late withdrawal today. Out comes Roughhead. Well, the Hawthorn fans all staying, all 26,000 of them, to just enjoy the show.
Well, it's a clinic at the moment. The second half has been a clinic. Absolute clinic.
It's going to be a fun few months ahead for these fans of all the sides that are contending. And there's plenty. You can see what the equation is for Jared Roughhead. That's not a problem. That's 5.
Well, it took a while to get going today, Jared Roughhead, but he's certainly come into his own. He's
all in the second half.
Yeah, chalked up 19 possessions now. He's done obviously some time in the ruck, but also has become pretty much one of the genuine key focal points, with Lance Franklin going off, being subbed out, I guess, sort of early on in the third term. So it's really created a lot more opportunities for a lot of the Hawk forwards with Franklin off.
Well, that's what's ahead for Alistair Clarkson.
It's an interesting month, isn't it?
It is. 3 very big opponents there, obviously, after the Dogs next week.
It's like Hale and Roughhead are waxing at the moment. One in the ruck, one goes to the goal square, and they kick to each other.
That's another big term, isn't it? After 9 in the third, I think we're up to 7 now in the last. Young, Lewis.
He'll get it again here, Roughhead.
He will. And he doesn't. He's got a free.
Your hands are in his back.
Well, it's the most they've conceded, GWS. There's a free kick. Andrew Phillips, just a desperate lunge in the end, hands in the back to Roughhead. There was no need to do it in the end because he'd fumbled the mark, but as a defender, as David King said, when the ball goes in 72 times, you're going to be under extreme pressure.
This is the most they've conceded in a match, GWS. Lots the copy by kicking it behind there.
I think the other stat that Alistair Clarkson will be really pleased with the only 33 entries for the opposition. They already ranked 1 for preventing the ball getting in the opposition 50 with 43, so they'll be really happy with that stat. Only 33 times GWS have entered their forward 50, and a lot of those entries have been slow and wide.
So it's easily their biggest loss of the season as well, the Giants. Just under 2 minutes remaining. Taylor Adams has kept having a crack all day.
It's a great second effort from David Hale, contesting in the ruck, and then when he saw the clearance was going to go to an opposition player, just threw the body in the tackle. We can see Lance Franklin just having a spell with the red vest on.
Doesn't look that interested,
well,
really,
I wonder
does
what
he?
he's thinking with Roughhead and Hale at the moment.
What do you think he's thinking?
Getting a fill. Well, Roughhead's kicked 5 in the second half. Maybe I could have kicked another couple, 3 or 4 or 5, 6. But it's all about the bigger picture, isn't it? No doubting that. He'll be the first to have a shower, though.
Adelaide next week for Sheeds' Giants, and then Freo, Collingwood and Port Adelaide. Some games at home, which is good. They've travelled far and wide. And that's partially to do with their arrangements at home, with having to wait until the show's finished and all that in Sydney before Scota's available. Oh, it was good team play, but it's come unstuck. Hale.
He's thrown it to himself.
Is that a handball? Well, it must be a handball.
Young. They line up again. Roughhead. He wants another. And he won't get it. Oh,
Just
he did.
couldn't hang on.
He thought he might be able to clamp one down with a tackle.
Well, it's good effort from Thomas Bugg. Came in third man in to create half a spoil.
Smith down to the last 50 seconds. I was going to say that one goal and they'd be at least have a chance to equal their lowest score of the season, but alas, that is not going to happen. But Hawthorn have time. 39 seconds. Young, they work it through the middle. Shields with a collect, a bounce. Not a great handball by any means.
That'll be the end of it.
And that will be the end of the penny section. Green.
No one to kick to.
Trelaw.
Good option in the end.
It's a really good kick.
Centering ball. Moore, I think he was exhausted.
Can they get another inside 50, Hawthorn?
To add to their 74.
Well, 40 in the second half. 20 and 20 apiece. Can they
Bruce,
get 21 this quarter?
I think they will. They will. And Roughhead might just get one more goal. Just to put the cherry on top for the Hawks. 156 points and the Hawthorn fans rise. Been a massive percentage boosting afternoon for them. And the premiership favourites as they are. There is talent everywhere you look in this lineup. Jared Roughhead, a massive second half. But he went off. Roughhead stepped up with 6 goals to make it a day out for the Hawks fans. They have kicked 28 goals. They've had over 50 scoring shots and they've won by 162 points.